Welcome, all the viewers of Stitch 5 Games, to the first episode of the news show thing. I haven't really had a title for it. We're just called the Sunday News Show for right now. Though most things were presented at Comic-Con a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, and what I would be talking about right now was already presented there, so I don't really have much to say. But I do have a few things I want to talk about, especially one thing that I will talk about in a little bit at the end that I think is the most important, even though it's not really important at all. Anyway, first things first. Battlefield 4 was announced. Kind of announced, kind of not announced. No one's surprised that it was announced. I mean, I don't know who in their right mind would be surprised that another Battlefield's coming out. I mean, Battlefield 3 did good, so obviously they're going to make another one. Because that's just what makes sense nowadays, right? Remember when Halo 3 was going to be the last Halo? I do. So the newest Medal of Honor Warfighter, or generic Warfighter, whatever it's called, they had on their website, pre-order Medal of Honor Warfighter, and get beta access to Battlefield 4, and everyone was like, wait, what? Battlefield 4? We just had Battlefield 3, and then they pulled it a little bit, so... You know, they pulled it pretty soon after that was posted, so maybe it was an accident, maybe they just didn't really know what they were doing, maybe they're going to do that on the next Medal of Honor game or something like that, I don't really know. Either way, Battlefield 4 was, whether they wanted it to be or not to be, I feel like William Shakespeare, it was basically announced. Moving on from that, Dan Pinchbeck developed this game, Dear Esther, and the game has sold 250,000 copies so far, which is the most recent update, and he expected it to sell less than 20,000. He said that he'd be very happy if it sold 20,000. So good for you, Dan. Glad that you got what you wanted and then some. You deserve it. Good job. You have a nice pat on the back, even though it's my back. But whatever! Phil Fish, which I'm pretty sure is the creator of the indie game Fez, which actually had a movie made about it called Indie Game the Movie. If you guys want to check that out. I haven't watched it myself, but it looks pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's on Steam, and I'm sure a number of different places. But anyway, he came out with an update for his game Fez on the Xbox Live Marketplace arcade. And he said it cost him $10,000 to do a patch, which apparently is Xbox's normal charge for patches on the Xbox Live Arcade Marketplace, which I think is a little bit expensive considering the game is probably like $1 to $10 maybe. How on earth is he going to make $10,000 back after paying for a patch? I mean, I'm sure the game's popular with the movie and everything, but still, $10,000. Let me do some calculations real quick. Let's say it was $1. He'd have to sell 10,000 copies. Like, that might like be, you know, maybe that's not a lot because, you know, everyone around the world is playing Xbox and using the arcade and whatever. But it's still kind of a lot for an update. What if he wants to update it again? And he's got to do it again and again and again. People come up with updates all the time. It shouldn't cost money to update a game. You're just fixing a problem. You shouldn't be punished for not fully developing the game. And you should, because people are going to hate you for it. But if you're just coming out with like an update to add something cool, you shouldn't be punished for that. You should be rewarded. They should give you money to make updates. That's what I say. It's Mark's little advice corner right there. And last but certainly not least, in my opinion, the game developer by the name Peter Molyneux, as if you know game developers, you do know his name. He was a creator of Fable, and he's worked for Microsoft for the past, who knows how many years. He got the Lifetime Achievement Award for video games. I think it was this year or last year. Might have been last year. Either way, he's an important man. So he has this idea for 22 experiments, or he calls them 22 cans, whatever that means. Anyway, so his first experiment coming out, called Curiosity, is a game where you're in a white room and you see a black box in the corner. And you go, oh look, a black box. And you click that black box either on your phone or on the PC. Those are the devices it's being released to, like iPad or iPhone or Android and all that crap, and the PC. So you click the little black box, you move towards it, like here it is, a little tiny, and it comes into your frame, and now it's all big and it's great. Sounded weird. Anyways, so you see this black box, and you're like, oh, what is this? I don't get it. Why is there a black cube in front of me? What am I going to do with this? And then you tap on it, and it cracks a very tiny bit, and you're like, whoa, I can crack this thing. Very small. So you just keep tapping, it cracks a little bit more, But what it is this black box that everyone in the world is sharing. They're all sharing this one black cube. One giant black cube. And you make these little hairline slivers of cracks. And you can buy tools. The game's free, so you can just tap away if you want. But you can buy tools, like a very cheap, the cheapest tool I think, is a pickaxe of some sort, and it's like 50 cents. And so you can buy that and then chip away at a tool, or chip away at the thing, which makes your hit like 10 times harder than just tapping it. Which, okay, that's cool. And yeah, as I said, you're sharing the black cube with everyone in the world, and it can be up to 1 million people at one time cracking away this cube, I think. And then you can crack inside, and then we'll get to that later. But I want to talk about the tool that's the most expensive tool that you can buy, which is a total of about $77,000. Pretty sure that's right, in American, USA, whatever you want to call it, American dollars. It's $77,000, like 50,000 euro, I think it is, or 50,000 pounds, whatever. But that's ridiculous. Now, he said he's not doing it just to get money, because he figures no one's going to buy it anyway, but he's doing it to see how curious people are to see what's inside, because it makes your hit 100,000 times harder, which is ridiculous. But the first person to crack inside to the cube gets to see what's inside the cube, and no one else in the world does. So only that person, and obviously the creator of the game, who knows what it is, but only that person gets to know what's in the cube. And it's like, he wants to know if people are that curious that they'll pay $50,000. Now, he says what's in the cube is so amazing that he believes it will be on the news, which I don't understand if that makes sense, because he says that he wonders if the person who finds out what's in the cube will tell someone, so how would it be on the news if they don't tell anyone? And regardless, the person who cracks into this cube is going to be like, at least a little famous for being the only person who freaking knows what's in it. Like, what's in the cube? What could it possibly be? It's digital, or maybe it's physical. Maybe they'll like mail you something. I don't know. Now, obviously, you can tell that I am curious, so the game curiosity makes sense, and it's a cool idea, I guess. Not really, but I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know what it is. Is it real? Can you even call that a game? You're tapping away at a cube. It might take like a month or something. Like I mean, it depends on how many people are playing it. What if no one plays it? I don't know. You've heard my rants. You've heard my little rumbles and grumbles. And all I want to say is thank you for watching. You can click links in the bottom to get full stories on all these things that I've talked about. Also, click the link in the description to like us on Facebook. Got Facebook now. Yeah! And yes, we will see you on the next episode of whatever's coming next. I will have a What's Hot Wednesdays. I know. Catchy name, right? Which is the most anticipated games, which that'll either be this Wednesday or next Wednesday. I'm not sure when I'll have it done. But anyway, thank you for watching. May all your nightmares turn into dreams. I am Mark Musso of Stitch 5 Games. We will see you next time. Goodbye!